had to shop online for the first time in their life. People that the idea of buying groceries online was not even a thing. And now they're used to only using Instacart because they never want to set a foot in Whole Foods or Walmart or wherever you go shopping. So even the customers, your customers a year ago are not your customers today and are not your customers 2 years ago. Spend a lot of time understanding who they are, because that's the first step into designing a great marketing strategy. The second thing is finding their trigger. For example, when do auto parts companies succeed the most? When the economy is poor, when your car is broken, when you've earned a bonus and you have something wrong with your car, when you have a stable income, when you're entering a new job. And one of the answers could be when the economy is poor. Even though during COVID, and I think because of all the help that a lot of people got, PPP, stimulus packages and all that, car sales actually did really well. In fact, car dealers have inventory issues. Even used cars are having inventory issues. But forget about COVID, but usually auto parts companies always do well when people have no option but fixing their cars because they cannot afford buying another car. So what triggers me to go fix my car is, again, the fact that I need a functioning car to go from A to Z, and two is I cannot afford anything else. That's the only alternative I have. And remember, every consumer has some kind of trigger. What triggered you to be here today? What triggered you guys to choose MGM? What triggered? So there's always something that triggers a decision. Make sure you understand what triggers people to convert. The third thing is understanding the competition. This is actually, the left side is a research that I did, or we did for a client of ours. They wanted to compete against Smile Direct Club and Invisalign. So we have this meeting in Dallas. The guys, they're backed by a PE firm, so I was getting super excited and like, yeah, millions of dollars. Then I was like, what's your digital marketing budget? They were like 30 grand. And we want to do Google AdWords and Facebook and the TikTok thing and all these crazy things. So all I did while we were in the middle of the meeting is literally trying to pull data showing what the other guys in the space are spending. We're talking about $1 million just in AdWords alone. And in fact, that was like, I think that slide is from probably 2 years ago. So as you can imagine, Smile Direct Club are everywhere now, everywhere you go. You see them even in malls. So they have even pop-up stuff. So they have raised even more money. They're spending a lot more money. So what do you do here? What do you tell a client? And whoever said, like, you are the one who tells them that their baby is ugly. Well, I had to tell them that they were broke, so that was no fun. So I was like, get out of this industry. You won't compete. So do you outspend them? Do you think smart? Do you go after long tail keywords? What do you do here? And those are really conversations you need to have internally with your team and involve everybody from the email marketing guys to the SEO guys. It could be that you need to be the Wikipedia for Invisalign, and that could be your game. You become the new WebMD for it. Like whatever the solution is, we did know that we should not be in Google AdWords no matter what because we were going to get killed. So we had to come up with strategies and help this client. So again, understand who your competitors are, understand what the competition is doing great, what they're not doing great, and do your best to outsmart them. Know what you want to say, then figure out where to say it. So let's see if this plays. So who's TipTop? For, if there are any Canadians here, you probably know who TipTop is. They're one of the largest menwear brands in Canada. They're actually backed by Blackstone, and that's one of our clients. And they came to us during prom season, and they were like, hey, we want to push 4 suits, and it's prom season, what should we do? And that was, again, I think 2 years ago as well, or a year ago, and we told, 2 years ago, pre-COVID. And we told them, well, there's this thing called TikTok. Like, what's that? I'm like, well, it's kind of now the most downloadable app on the App Store, and it's creating all this. And again, we generally, because we knew what your customers were. They're there. They're not on Facebook. They're not on Instagram. They're on TikTok. So this 18-second simple video gave us the highest record sales month in the history of the brand. We also won a glossy fashion award, which is this kind of fancy fashion marketing award in New York, against Saks Fifth Avenue and David's Bridal, for a fraction of the budget. Fraction of what those guys spent trying to get customers to engage with their videos. So what we did here is we followed the 3 steps. We knew who the customers were, we understand the competition, we know what triggers people, but what we did as well is that we took it a step further where we ran 2 campaigns at the same time. One targeting the teens on TikTok, but the second one using connected TV, targeting the parents. Because we know we have the IP addresses. As you guys know, we're marketers. We know everything about everyone, but we can't tell the secret. So in reality, connected TV is as well one of the most beautiful inventions that us marketers have access to, because it allows us to target people based on behavior, based on what type of shows they watch. So we know that in that household, mom likes to watch X and dad likes to watch Y. So what we did is we targeted also the parents of literally every person we targeted in this campaign. And that's what also drove the results, because their customers was not just the 16, 17-year-olds going to prom and getting it done, we're super excited, but it's also the parents that most of the time were having to pay for those suits. And the messaging was completely different. For the kids or the teens, it was, it's cool, you're gonna look awesome, tonight is the night. And for the parents, it's like, I'm saving you money. So that's what we did, and it did fantastic for this brand. Oh, this slide, I love it. 5, don't ignore the full journey. This is literally a real website. So imagine wanting to go on a cruise, and let's say these guys are killing it marketing-wise. They're super good at targeting people based on behavior, they understand the triggers, and now we were tired, sitting, I mean, not my case, but a lot of you guys probably were, again, if you live in LA and New York, you were kind of, couldn't do much. But time to go on a cruise. So imagine you targeted me, I'm the customer, and I land right here. This is giving me a headache, just looking at it. I don't even know where to start. So just remember, guys, doesn't matter how good you are at marketing, what matters is user experience. Doesn't matter how good you are at targeting, doesn't matter how good you are at driving the right traffic, doesn't matter if you're good on Google, Facebook, TikTok, name it. If you drive people to something like this, I promise you your conversion rate is gonna be horrible and you should probably be fired from your job. And the reason why I always like to say don't ignore the full journey is you need to map out the full customer journey from point A to literally the finish line. Where did we first start talking? Is it social media? Is it Instagram? Is it like even specific to the channel? Is it Instagram? Is it a Google ad? Whatever that is. So like genuinely understanding where the journey is starting all the way to the finish line and make the finish line as smooth as possible. Why is Amazon one of the most successful websites in the world? I think we might all agree it's not that beautiful looking, but it's super easy to use. You're one click away from buying whatever you want to buy. It's super dangerous. I know that, like especially after midnight. So just be really careful with that. The 6th thing that I want to touch on is set clear benchmarks and goals. The beauty of what we do is that we can track everything. So there are no excuses for us. I mean, I think the traditional, I don't know if you're in the traditional media guys, but I'm sorry if you're in the TV buy, you can talk impressions, you can talk this. But for us, we're talking clicks and conversions, and there is no way around it. We are accountable for how we're spending our clients' money. So we need to put in benchmarks, we need to have forecasts, we need to look at quarterly, we need to look at historical data. I always say that if you have clean data, that's 50% of the job. That will help you genuinely understand who are your customers, how they're behaving, what time of the year, what time of the, like I mean, even during the day, what type of device. Literally, spending a lot of time cleaning up your data and understanding data is going to be 50% of the success of any digital strategies I've ever seen. And then, plan, execute, iterate. So like, the most important thing is reviewing what you're doing, understanding what's working, what's not working. Shifting, again, we have the ability, think about it, like if you are on TV, once you buy the TV spots for a month, it's a done deal. We can place whatever we want today and we can change it tomorrow. So we need to be really agile and interpret data in real time and make decisions that are going to be benefiting the clients, because ultimately, how do you define the success of any digital goods strategy is the bottom line. Did we make money to our clients or did we not make money to our clients? At least that's how we're being measured. We as marketers can be as excited as we want with the clicks and the impressions and the likes and whatever, but ultimately, and I'm talking from the agency side, I know that 99.9% of our clients measure us based on performance. So with that, that's all I actually have. So I wanted to open it more for questions. If you guys have any questions, please raise your hand.